Hello everyone! Last class we learned what is a portrait, and today we will talk about self-portraits. But what are self-portraits? A self-portrait is a painting or a picture you make of yourself. An example of self-portrait is when Picasso drew himself. While a portrait refers to any painting that shows a human figure, a self-portrait refers to a painting that depicts the artist that produced it. Let's look at the differences between photoreal and expressionist styles in a self-portraiture. Photorealism refers to a style of painting that mimics a naturalistic way of seeing. In contrast, expressionism refers to a style of painting in which the artist is free to represent anything his or her mind can imagine. An example of the latter is Frida Kahlo, that is also known as the Queen of Selfies. The Mexican artist painted herself a lot of times during different times of her life, expressing what she was feeling at that moment, as well as representing what was important for her. For example, her pets, nature, the colors that she liked. And today we are going to represent Frida Kahlo on a drawing. For this activity, you are going to need paper, pencil, and colorful pencil. Let's start! So now, to draw Frida, we are going to need a small paper, so get a normal A4, cut in the middle, okay? Now, what are you going to do? You need to find the middle of the paper. Okay, now that the lines are over here, we are going to draw the structure of her face. First, we are going to draw the shape of her face. Now, the same structure that you drew over here, you have to try to do at the other side. So, more or less one finger. Frida has a wide face. If you have trouble to do the two sides more or less the same, what can you do is draw at one side, fold the paper, and then draw on the top. Okay, her face, and now her forehead. Oh, check that her face is almost the same size as the paper. Her neck. Her hair. Her hair is always up, so we are going to draw her hair up. Ears. And her eyes. To draw eyes, you have to divide from this part to this part over here, more or less into 5 parts. So, they're more or less the same. Why? Because that's the symmetry when you're drawing a face. More or less the same, okay. And check that my eyes are on the middle line. Okay, So now that I divided the spaces, I can draw the shape. Now her eyebrow. Her eyebrow, it's all together. So you are gonna start at one side and then go all the way to the other side. A nose. The nose has to be on the top of this line that is in the middle over here. Too long. And her mouth. A tip to draw mouth. When you are drawing a mouth, you draw first how her mouth is going to be. If it's going to be smiling, if it's going to be serious. My Frida is going to be smiling, so my line is up. And around this line, you finish your mouth. Yeah, my mouth is too down. Oh, this distance and this distance has to be more or less the same. So I need to put my mouth up a little bit. Again, middle of mouth. And the top. That's it. That's the basic structure. Of course, you don't have to do exactly the same as I did. You can create your mouth, nose, and eyes the way that you want. Just don't forget that Frida has this eyebrow over here that is all together. And now the details, for example, what goes on her head, what goes on the background, I want you to create from the drawings that you saw in the video, from all her selfies, okay? I'm going to finish mine just for you to have an idea, but I want you to draw your own Frida, okay?